Have just got clear of check-in after 2 hours. It's much easier the second time around because you understand what's happening to you. Also, after literally years of therapy in German, I have all the correct vocabulary needed for the situation. Passed all the drink and drug tests that they give you, spoke at length and in detail about my illness and my relationship with alcohol. It's at this point that I really appreciated what moving to Salzburg had done for me. In Bad Ischl, because of the number of Englanders who live there, or thereabouts, I lived in an English-speaking bubble. I just did not have enough exposure to Austrian German as she is spoken in the wild to really learn anything useful for a resident's life, as compared to a tourist. Being in 90 House and being able to chat with the other guests is a lovely feeling. The place is basically the same. More hand sanitizer obviously. And we elbow bump the staff. Which is kinda cool. It feels strange doing a funky, street-style greeting with therapists and doctors though. But welcome to the new normal, I guess. Have met with Frau Kranzlerscheiber again. She was my first ever therapist. She's special. You never forget your first time. We now also must social distance as much as is possible. Should be not much of a problem in such a big house apart from at dinner time, where we have to sit in 2 sittings. I'm not yet sure how Thursday night meeting will work. That was always snug at the best of times. For lunch we had pork schnitzel with peppercorn sauce, rosti, and runner beans with bacon bits for lunch, so that's nice. Frau Fischwenger not only remembered which was my old room, she got me my old seat back in the dining room. So that was nice too. Have got a ground floor room and my roomie, Biscuit, looks like he works out. Big, with a shaved head and a goatee, I think I might, just might, have found a training buddy. Only time will tell. I have now finished 2 books on astrophysics, and for a change of pace I am now reading a Daniel Glattauer book. It is, as Vincent described it, a beach book. But it's fun and light-hearted, so it's not a bad choice at the moment. Alex had read it in German, now I'm reading it in English, then we will compare notes. So, my goals list for the next 12 weeks, reads. 1. Get fit. 2. Learn Mandarin. 3. Read my mountain of books. 4. Write and publish my diary daily. 5. Arrange housing for after 90 House. 6. Find a new job. 7. Undergo intensive therapy to get, at least one hand, back gripping the steering wheel. 8. Smile. 9. If enough time, find a cure for COVID-19. Have just had a tour of the building by the house leader for this week. Each week you get assigned a job. It could be cooking, shopping, collecting the meds, garden work, or house leader. Or one of the many other tasks that are available. Each week on Wednesday you get given a new job. I am looking forward to seeing what I get for next week. Have just done an hour's workout. First one for time. Bench, squats, deadlift, overhead press, shrugs, bicep curls and pull-ups. I was shit. But, as they say, a journey of 1,000 blah 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 blah. Jesus, I bore myself sometimes. Have also done an hour's Mandarin. So now I am confident that if you needed me to go into a crowded room and find a man called Longda, I could do that for you. I'm going to try and pass on this valuable wisdom to you too. But as this voice program can only do one language at a time, I can't write it in any form of Chinese. I can't write it in German either. Remember a couple of days ago I used the shorthand 90er house. I completely forgot that because this is set to read in English, it won't recognize German abbreviations. It should have been pronounced Nwanziger house, so I will phonetactically write in English how you say are you Longda, in case you ever find yourself trying to locate a man called Longda in mainland China. I mean, it's unlikely but it could happen. Okay, so here goes. Pay attention now. Nishi Longda. Easy, ain't it? I'll be trilingual in a day or two, I can feel it. Just had my first group therapy. This one was a bit like AA. I had to introduce myself and explain my backstory. It's always fun trying explain everything with sounding too mad, or dangerous. This was made harder by all the scars on my arm. I'm used to them now so I don't bother to hide them. I forget they can be somewhat off-putting to new people. Everyone else spoke about their week, their cravings, and their progress. All the stuff you see on TV when a soap or sitcom does a therapy group story. It's not the most interesting therapy, to be honest. We are all in a controlled environment. Nothing really extraordinarily happens. Well, I say that, but we've just had evening meal. It was a lovely selection of meats and cheeses, fruits and vegetables, wholemeal bread and white cobs. Nothing wrong with the food at all. Lovely food really. The problem was how it was served. It was a buffet and people were using their hands I tell you. I don't know these people from Adam. But I do know that a hands in buffets was a shit idea before coronavirus was a thing. But now it is a thing. I nearly didn't eat. I don't know if these people have been tested. I was not asked to provide proof of being clean. So I guess they weren't required to either. I've spent lockdown cleaning my hands every time I move, and then 3 weeks in a hospital where we had no touch sanitizer spray machines by the doors. One of their lesser known hits. And from that to a grab and go COVID party. It surprises me how my perception of things has changed. In the film The Big Lebowski there is one scene where Jesus licks his bowling ball. Up till this year, that scene made you think he was a sexual deviant. Now you watch it and just scream in your head, don't lick the ball, you flipping idiot. COVID-19, COVID-19. Also today had my blood pressure taken and it was exactly 120/80. So now I can die happy. Which is ironic because this is possibly the farthest I have been from having a heart attack for years. I think that's enough for tonight, dear reader. Bis morgen.